And that was the summoning trap at the Primeval Titan was the game 1 win for Lovi.
Quite a difference in experience between those two in that Lova has 6 lifetime pro points, all
Which
from
came-
Nationals
yeah,
this year.
this year.
And Guillaume Wafatapa cruising towards 200, over 200 with this performance. In fact, a semi-final loss would see him at exactly 200 points. Preordain. Paolo has Seagate Oracle, Jace, Grave Titan, Matignon. I believe he has a Deprive in hand. Deprive's a card that you've been quite interested in watching through the weekend. Almost a forgotten counterspell. People have forgotten you can actually counter spells for 2 as a hard counter.
You certainly see situations where people play around Mana Leak, they get to the point where they can cast their spell and have 3 mana up, into your 2 mana, and, Deprive is a nice hard counter there.
And pretty neat flavor as well, because that's exactly how you feel. You feel you have been deprived when that happens to you. Paolo taps 3 for his Seagate Oracle. Yes, that's fine, says Matignon. Paolo looks and looks and looks.
Trying to decide if he wants to keep a land or a Jace, I think.
Yep, and he's decided on the Jace.
Just one. That's it.
And it sounds like Wafatapa has taken the next game. Having taken away the Primeval Titans, he's taken away the game, which means that the Janssen now trails Wafatapa by 2-1.
And there's really no way for him to deal with the Memora side. From Wafatapa, there's, we see these games, it's like, oh, well, I could duress you, I can mana leak that, I can, there's no give and take in that match, right? If he draws that card, he just gets to shut one route of victory down.
Okay, let's do a little bit of interaction with the crowd. Crowd, is it memory side or is it memory side? If you think it's memory side, put your hands up right now. Not very many of you. That's what I think it is. If you think it's memory side, put your hands up right now. Yeah, a lot more of you. Put your hands up if you can't understand what language I'm talking. Yep, over half the audience. That's what we like to see. All right, thanks, boys.
Including several of your countrymen.
Yeah, I noticed that. Matignon, 2 to the good here.
Jace the Mind Sculptor, which he offered to put in the graveyard.
That's always suspicious. I hate it when people do that against me. Seagate Oracle, Grave Titan. There's Jace, Bellerin, and Mind Sculptor.
Yep.
So, both Jaces go away. Seen plenty of use for Garrick Wildspeaker, talking of Planeswalkers this weekend. He seemed to have done plenty of good duty around the formats.
I feel like we've seen just about every standard legal Planeswalker in action at some point.
Yeah, I mean, we've had Sorin Markov in sideboards in the top 8. We haven't actually seen him in play yet, but he's been around. Maybe not Chandra Ablaze.
No.
Spreading Seas on Creeping Tar Pit. There you see it.
We've certainly seen all the non-base set ones, I believe.
Yeah, that's pretty... sounds about right. So, what have we got there? We've got Mana Leak, Deprive, Seagate Oracle, and Consume the Meek. That is the Matignon hand. That is the Matignon cough.
Left in the Consume the Meek.
Well, I guess it kills Titans, doesn't it? Titan tokens.
Sure, certainly.
Yeah, it doesn't kill Titans. Now let them play, Rashad. We'll hold them if it goes to 5. What do I take? Those 5 cards staring up at Palavida Domidarosa.
He only has a choice of 3 of them. So it's Mana Leak or Deprive here. Oh no, he can take the Seagate Oracle.
You talked about Brad Nelson would have been Player of the Year if he'd made 1 or 2 more wins at US Nationals and got himself on the team. I remember sitting with Paolo on day 3, or the back end of day 2, at Brazilian Nationals, where he was pretty certain that the math meant that he was going to run out of rounds 1 round short, even if he won his last 4. And he won his last 4 and was 1 round short, along with Willie Adel and a bunch of other very talented guys. Guillermo Medeiros Mayan was another who was on 8 and 4. And at the time, I remember going away from that event and thinking, I wonder whether we've just seen the handicap in the Player of the Year race shift subtly. And those nationals, they're really quite big in Magic now that you have the points.
How many players? Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just massive.
It's up to 10 points for
10 points for
winning your
national
nationals.
champion, plus then 6 if you become team world champion. So, you know, that is like a semi-final of a Pro Tour. Whether or not Paolo wins this match, hats off to him, because he has had to focus away from Magic. He's gone back to college, he's back at school, and finding Magic events around his work commitments. And that is quite a task,
Yes.
as Moraine Libert can testify. As Paolo says, here we go, Tectonic Edge, take out the tar pit. Matignon with his double Mana Leak hand. Just lays a replacement land, passes. In goes Seagate Oracle. Double Mana Leak, Deprive, and the Consume the Meek. Not a ton of excitement going on for either player right now, it's fair to say. Matignon, by the way, we're talking about nationals. Get this, 2006, made the top 8. 2007, the national champion. 2009, third. 2010, second. That is in the French nationals top 8, which, by the way, has, you know, your Ruels, for example, and your Levies.
And your Wafatapas.
And your Canalis. That is just an extraordinary record at national level.
Yeah, Pierre Canali finished 9th at French Nationals this year.
Indeed, indeed.
That's qualified him for this event.
And had a fantastic day 1. Beat Simon Gertzen in the last round of Swiss on day 1 to go undefeated. With Elves, that's right, isn't it? Canali was the Green Merchant with the Elvish Archdruids aplenty and Azuri Renegade Leader.
Yeah, I love that deck. Designed by deck was designed by Sylvain L'Oreal.
Another fine French deck designer.
Yeah.
So now there's a Jace the Mind Sculptor in Matignon's hand. And we're going to see another Spreading Seas. A reminder that at the conclusion of the semi-finals, we will have the Team World Final. That is Australia and the Slovak Republic waiting patiently for their turn in the spotlight. All 3 constructed major formats, Standard, Extended, and Legacy. No Vintage, sorry about that. But nonetheless, we're not doing too badly. We'll attempt to bring you all those simultaneously after the conclusion of the semi-finals. But Palavida Domidarosa will be hoping that is a long way away yet. 2 down to Matignon. Waffatapa, remember, 2-1 up over Jansa.
Matignon starting to find the lands he's been sort of scuffling for this.
And he says, can I have the Jace the Mind Sculptor that we saw him draw a couple of turns back? And, well, since all I have is a Grave Titan and an island...
We know that
Yes.
he can. Is he going to Fate Seal? Yes, he is. Like, yeah, you can have that.
I'm going to attack Jace with Seagate Oracle.
you going to say it correctly this time, or do I have to say it?
All right, then. The more things change, the more things stay the same. Guillaume Waffatapa has successfully resolved memoricide. Democracy in action. And who needs it? With that memoricide, the primeval Titan have gone from Lova's deck. Happy?
It's primeval.
Primeval. Oh my God. All right. The Titans have gone, and that sounds suspiciously like bad news for Loa Jansen, and very good news for Andrea Girola of Italy, because remember, if Jansen wins that semi-final, he will be Rookie of the Year. But if he loses to Guillaume Waffatapa, and currently Waffatapa 2-1 up, we will have an Italian Rookie of the Year, succeeding Lino Bergold from Germany, the 2009 winner.
We've got a Inquisition of Kozlak coming here from
Paolo. And I guess Matignon, what's Matignon's thought process here? It's like,
he's just trying to decide if he
care?
wants to counter it, or he's wondering, I guess, about maybe another. Yeah, no, he lets it go.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't care.
You can look
the
at
only thing I care about is you landing that Grave Titan.
Yeah.
And I can stop you even if you take one of my counter spells here.
So
take my hard counter.
Take the hard counter, but still know that you're going to have to pay 6 extra for Grave Titan. Which Paolo is 4 shy of doing. That said, there's still plenty of legs left in this one. Jace at 3. The Seagate Oracle. Down for Paolo.
Reminds him to put the Inquisition in his graveyard.
I guess they're just lonely without too many non-land permanents.
I think they're perfectly comfortable without non-land permanents.
Okay, there is
I
that.
think that's their natural habitat.
Certainly Guillaume Wafatapa's natural habitat. Was interesting seeing Guillaume Waffatapa using Sunblast Angel to great effect over the weekend in his Cruel Control deck.
Here we see a Jason Bellerin.
Mm-hmm. And now it gets interesting because, of course, Matignon can counter and counter again.
But does he want to?
But then he has the issue of knowing that
Nope.
Grave Titan's on the way. So it's just away we go. And in for another point. Seagate Oracle, nice card. Not quite Ophidian.
Scroll Thief would be quite interesting in this matchup, huh?
Oh, wow. Wouldn't it just? Spreading Seas.
It was eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah. Pick one, any one. Back to the Brazilian. Spreading Seas back the other way. Paolo, of course, attempting to become the second Brazilian world champion of 2010 in Magic. I hope you were with us over lunchtime to watch Carlos Romao in the Magic Online World Championship match defeat Akira Asahara by 2-1. $25,000 to the Brazilian. $17,000 to Asahara for runner-up. Tremendous weekends for them both.
If you ever played against a control player, you recognize that sound of flicking cards.
Indeed.
Plays a baby Jace, draws a card.
Another land pass. I guess the difficulty, the sort of shifting dynamic in this one is that Paolo is low on cards against a lot of cards for Matignon, so can't really force the pace. Matignon, on the other hand, has plenty of cards, but if he does force the pace, he runs the risk that Paolo has drawn the precise 2 cards over those preceding 2 turns that are just going to destroy him, and then win a war and untap, and there's my Grave Titan, and suddenly...
This is just all about Grave Titan for him.
Yeah. And there is Grave Titan from Paolo. There is Mana Leak from Matignon. There is Pay. There is Mana Leak again. Go away.
Oh, except
no. Crack.
You said just the right 2 cards.
Oh, really? Oh, really? Yes, it is.
The last card in his hand.
Wow. Wowie. And now things have well and truly shifted.
Attack for 1.
But where? Because if he attacks Matignon for 1 now to 11...
He's going to attack Jace.
Okay. Because he has lethal next turn. If he attacks Matignon. Puts him to 11 and then attacks for 11. Maybe there's creeping tar pits getting in the way. No, that doesn't work. Well, Jace is gone. Matignon says, I'd like a card.
Yep, cashed it in.
And what are Matignon's meaningful answers to Grave Titan plus friends?
Another Grave Titan?
It's pretty much that, isn't it? Just like that one there?
Yes.
Okay. Sometimes Magic's all about the brute force, sometimes it's a dance. Not much happening on the other table. I can tell you that Guillaume Waffatapa is seemingly in reasonable control. He's starting to brainstorm with Jace.
If not much is happening, that means Guillaume is winning.
There is that. Yes. But then it's one of those things where just one sudden turn, Emrakul, it looks like they've done a bunch of in and out. Paolo now has 4 tokens.
But we know there's a Consume the Meek in Guillaume Matignon's hand.
Mm-hmm.
He says, Duress, what's that last card you drew? Oh, it was a counterspell.
Take that stoic rebuttal. So you will not be dealing with my Consume the Meek. Go away. Let's start again. Except I'll start with Jace the Mind Sculptor.
I'll start with Brainstorm and play.
That, my friends, was a turn. This is how we draw
Fate
it up.
Seal you. Yeah, that's fine. You can have that.
Yeah. That card right there, it's yours.
Or is he thinking, no? No, it's not.
Oh, okay. Okay, Paolo says, I'll have that instead. No way! Oh, please. Jace off the top. No way!
Cancel. They're just staggering around the ring, punching each other.
Great time from Matignon. Take that.
No, you are talking.
Now you're talking, says Matignon. Remember, Matignon lost to Palavita Dama de Rosa. Is he about to get to the World Championship final? Paolo is at 18. Inquisition of Kozilek reveals
Sees
a mind break trap. In for 10. Paolo is at 8. 2 more zombie tokens. Pass the turn. Draw. Grave Titan.
Go.
How many permanents on screen? Matignon.
Gets in for 7 here. He can get Paulo down to 1.
And does that work out? What has he got land-wise? Have we got any creeping tar
He
pits
does
that
have a
are
creeping.
available?
He has a creeping tar pit. It looks like.
So activate creeping tar pit. Cert were ing.
I have
2 more zombies. Oh wow! You let things build, they simmer for a bit, and then boom, bang, bang. That was incredible magic.
Paulo blocks in such a way that he keeps his Grave Titan.
Yep.
Oh, Memoricide.
Memoricide.
So what can make you?
So, what can make you stay in this, says Matignon to himself. Because, of course, he doesn't get to look until he names. So he has to think what's there. He
Oh,
says,
that's right. He's got the unblockable creeping
spreading
tar pit.
seas so that you can't deal with my tar pit. And Matignon will be looking through and going, is there anything left you can do?
Is there a disfigure left in there? But even that should not do it. That's the game.
There you have it.
Brad Nelson cannot lose Player of the Year today.
Revenge for Guillaume Matignon on Palavita Dama de Rosa in the replay of the final of San Juan. And Matignon goes, yes, I've done it. Oh boy, that meant a lot to him. He advances to the final. He is dancing round, and you see him race over to, well, I won't say ruffle the hair, because that's quite a task to ruffle the hair of Guillaume Wafatapa. And you see them, Wafatapa's like,
You won?
you just messed my hair. What did you... Oh, okay, I'll let you off. You're in the World Championship final. It could be an all-French final. Palavita Dama de Rosa, phenomenal run. He just annihilated the Swiss all weekend long, got himself into the top 8, got past the quarter-final. We knew this was a potential semi-final when we went to bed last night. It delivered, and how? And Guillaume Matignon of France is 1 win away from a playoff for the Championship of the World. Meanwhile,
Guillaume Matignon
and that is
running along the rail for a series of high fives.
That is unreal. Touchdown Matignon. As
the Lambeau leap.
yeah, that's L apostrophe A-M-B-E-A-U. Lambeau leap. So let us, okay, enough of the excitement with that semi-final. Let us take you to the back table and let us see what is going on in Guillaume Wafatapa against Lova Jansa. They will be hard-pressed to deliver on the drama we've just witnessed in semi-final 1. Goodness me, that was epic magic. Wafatapa up against Jansa. Wafatapa leads 2-1. There are some tokens in play, I can tell you, for Guillaume Wafatapa. There is a Jace the Mind Sculptor in play, with 5 loyalty on. There is not very much in play for Lova Jansa, who is passing the turn to the Frenchman. Preordain from Wafatapa.
Is that collection over there on the left of the screen in play? Or is that just a graveyard of zombies?
Oh, that down at the bottom here
Yeah.
we've got... No, I do not believe that those are in play. I believe we have 2 tokens in play. We have Jace up to 7.
Jace is doing some sculpting.
Closing towards ultimate. And it could be, if you're French, just about the ultimate final. Guillaume Wafatapa against Guillaume Matignon in the blue-black mirror. Bagsy Wafatapa. If he gets there.
I will take Matignon.
Oh, will you? Well, that's the choice I'm giving you.
What
but
I'm left with.
That's correct. But you said that with rather more confidence than I'd have liked. Wafatapa activates Creeping Tar Pit. In for 7. $13.19 the life totals. Jansa.
Oh, sorry.
Just confirming that he's at 13, having taken 7. Ling Sherping from Sweden, this level 1 in his debut PT, been playing since Legions, is the last Swede left in the tournament.
Oracle.
Oracle of Moldai is being offered up. Guillaume Wafatapa is having a little think about that, as he does about pretty much everything. Just checks yet again that it is 13-19 and that he is well and truly in the box seat. And thinks about a counter, but no.
I thought about Doomblade, actually.
Okay. The sort of slightly delayed counter spell.
Yeah.
Draw. There's a Grave Titan, and Spreading Seas has gone in, courtesy of Jace the Mind Sculptor. Don't think we're that far away from an all-French, all-blue-black final.
All Guillaume final.
All Guillaume.
It's going to be Mono Guillaume.
It'll be GMAT v GWT in the final, if that's the way it works out. The answer is not actually dead yet, so let's hang in there. Here comes Spreading Seas for Mystifying Maze. Here is Grave Titan for Guillaume Wafatapa.
Just pulls those zombies out of the graveyard there.
Yep, yoink. 19 plays 9. There is the hand! It will be an all-French final. It will be an all-level 8 final, I do believe.
Yes, it will.
Between Wafatapa and Matignon. It will be an all-Guillaume final. It will be an all-action final. Oh,
I mean, non-stop in action.
in action. Yes, the world in action. That's what's coming your way. Goodness me. Congratulations, of course, to Lovi Jansa, who battled valiantly there, took the opening game with that quick Primeval Titan, and a phenomenal weekend at your first Pro Tour. Who wouldn't take semi-finals of Worlds? Wow, what an absolute experience that is for him. But
And he's now qualified for everything next year.
yes, indeed, absolutely, because with
Certainly
16
with this-
points,
yeah, 16 and 6.
and the 6 from Nationals, we will well and truly be seeing the Shark once again. So there you have it. That is the end of the semi-finals. Before you go away for your bathroom break, we've built one in for your comfort. That's how kind we are.
For their comfort?
For their... And yours and mine, clearly. So what we're going to do in a few minutes, we're going to have a little bathroom break. We'll chat a little bit first. Then we're going to reset the stage for one of the highlights of the year. It's one of the highlights of Worlds as well. 3 tables, line by line by line. You'll see Standard, you'll see Extended, you'll see Legacy. And that is the Team World Championship final, Slovak Republic against Australia, which could be kind of fun.
Yeah, it could be. And I think we're going to look in on Extended, which is the next coming PTQ season. Mm-hmm. So, this may be of some interest to you at home. Take a look at some high-level PTQ deck, possible PTQ decks in action.
Mm-hmm. A deck that may be slightly less complicated than Conley Wood's Necrotic Ooze deck.
Yes.
Though that's not hard to do.
Although you should definitely watch the Conley Woods Necrotic Ooze deck. Actually, the Extended deck that you should check out, if you're going to check out any of them, is the deck by Jonathan Smithers. Jonathan Smithers is the man that beat Brad Nelson in the finals of Grand Prix Toronto.
That's right, yep.
Qualified him for this event. He brewed and he brewed and he brewed on Extended, and he came up with a deck that we've been calling Steel Artifact, STEEL Artifact.
Yes.
It has 4 Tempered Steel, 4 Steel Overseer, it has 4 Court Homunculus, it has it has Ornithopters, it has Memnites.
Wow.
And it went 6-0 in one player's hands, 5-1 in another player's hands. The deck is quite formidable. It is easy to overlook it and sort of dismiss it as a bunch of fun cards to play.
The re-rise of Affinity?
Well, we're trying to avoid the use of the word affinity here.
So
for
that people don't hate
Kelly
it?
Diggs' insanity, level of sanity.
Ah, all right. Not a fan of that.
He's not a fan of calling decks by a name that refers to a mechanic that they don't have in the deck.
Like flying or the flying deck.
Or, or when I
allowed?
called the Vengevine deck Dredgevine, he was a little upset.
Oh, you can't do that because, as we know, Dredge is a mechanic that features the graveyard.
Right.
And it's like No, I don't. Yeah, I see that. No, that's very.
But anyway, you should check that video.
That's
out.
very bad of you. You should check that video out. So we have the Team World Final coming up. Then, of course, we've got the World Championship Final. Guillaume on Guillaume. Paolo will not win Player of the Year. Brad Nelson could, but not today, or could today. If we have the scenario, Waffatapa wins, he cannot become Player of the Year. He'll just be the World Champion.
He'll just be a level 8.
Guillaume Matignon will just be a level 8. And Brad Nelson will be Player of the Year. So there is still hope for Brad Nelson fans. We've had a great day so far. It is just World Championship action to come now. But we need to get things ready for the team title match between the Slovak Republic and Australia. So keep it right here. We'll be back 10 minutes time. See ya.
Hey, Mark.